Hi Vibrant Souls, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Vibrant Soul Tarot and I'm super excited to have you joining me today. Speaking of super excited, today's topic is what should you be focusing on right now? So all we're going to do is basically ask Spirit what you need or what needs your focus in your life at the time that you're coming across this reading and see what answers come up for you. It is a general reading, so just take what resonates for you, leave the rest behind for someone else, and that's pretty much it. I don't think it needs any further elaboration. We're going to leave it pretty open so that we can get all of the answers as general or as specific as they may be for you. And we are going to see what happens. So let's go ahead and get into the pile selections. I don't think we even need to talk about the reading too much anymore. So today we have these 3 piles to choose from. We're going to start right here with pile number 1. Pile number 1, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. And on top of that, we have this Crystal Lotus. So for pile number 2, we have the Muse Tarot deck. And on top of that, we have this Pink Cat's Eye Heart. Also, if you can hear it, I know some of you guys with headphones can always hear it. My dog just decided to start going to town on himself with licking. So if you hear any weird noises in the background, it's definitely him. But the show must go on. So pile number 3, we have the Star Seeker Tarot deck. And on top of that, we have this green fluorite diamond. So if you need more time in choosing your pile, please take your time, of course. You can pause the video here, do whatever you need. When you do have your pile selected, I will post the timestamps for each one in the description box below for your convenience as always, along with any other additional information, such as the channeled songs that are just like another additional message to each reading. You can check that out in the description box. If you're wondering the names of any of the decks that will be used in this reading, that will be in the description box as well. And if you have any other questions, just feel free to check the description box first. You may or may not find your answer. If you do not, just comment it and I will try my best to get back to you in a timely manner. And that's it. So I can't wait to see you guys at your reading. Bye. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Lotus Crystal Flower, or if you chose the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, either way. So today we are asking, what should you be focusing on right now? So Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my pile 1's collective energy. And if you can please show me in pile 1 where their focus is best suited at this time for them right now, please. Thank you. What should they be focusing on at the time that they are coming across this reading? I just heard the here and now. That always comes up in a lot of readings. So Spirit, your Spirit team may want you to be more present. Get out of your head a little bit. Okay, what should pile 1 be focusing on, Spirit? We have the Queen of Cups. What should pile 1 be focusing on? The 10 of Cups. Oh, wow. What should pile 1 be focusing on, Spirit? And Strength. So clarifying the Queen of Cups. And we have the 5 of Swords. Clarifying the 10 of Cups. We have the 8 of Swords. Clarifying the Strength. Oh no. Oh, we have the 7 of Wands, which is very... No, is this the 7 of Wands or the 6 of Wands? Oh, the 6 of Wands. I thought it was the 7 of Wands. I was going to say that's very telling to Strength energy. We also have the Empress, the Ace of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords. Sorry, I thought this was the 6 of Wands now, and I was like, what is happening here? No, it's the Swords. Okay. The Chariot. Okay. Okay. We have a lot of stuff. We also have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So we have a bunch of oracles that we're going to be bringing out and using as well. But I feel like the first thing, this may sound a little counterintuitive, but anything that's bothering you right now, or anything that feels like it is stressing you out, weighing on you, Spirit wants you to focus on those emotions and to have a compassionate type of energy for yourself. So like I said, it's like, why would you want to focus on the things that are stressing you out? It's almost as if like Spirit wants you to acknowledge something here, to accept something, to give yourself the time and the space, but also the love needed. Like Spirit wants you to focus on your own emotions in ways that you mother yourself, in ways that you take care of yourself, and ways that you may also be lying to yourself. So there is something here about acknowledging something for what it is and allowing yourself to peacefully resolve any type of inner turmoil that is happening inside within you as well. Also, for some of you, the Mother of Cups, like if you, and this is just specifically for whoever this may resonate with, if there is some sort of conflict, or if you feel like you need to talk to your own mother, like if you feel like you need to address certain things with her, that's something that Spirit is saying to do as well. But just make sure that your ego isn't at play too, to be kind of compassionate and opening and listening to both sides as well. But that was just a very specific message for a very small, probably group of people. For other than that, I feel like this Queen of Cups is about you really nurturing yourself at this time. That's something that needs your focus. Another thing that needs your focus is Spirit wants you to get out of your own head and to find things that you can enjoy. To remember that good times come, good times are here. The 10 of Cups, this full fulfillment is possible for you, that you can be happy, and that it's important to do things that you love. And this could also be, again, like maybe with your family or loved ones, or surround yourself with people that are important to you if you can, if you feel like you need support at this time. Because the 8 of Swords is telling me that sometimes we get so much in our own head, or we go on this thought process or this road, or we focus on things that steal our own joy. They take our own joy away from the present moment. And Spirit's like, you've been thinking a lot. You've been in your head a lot lately, and it's time to get out of that. It's time to get back into your body, and it's time to remember things that make you happy. And it's time to try to bring in this fulfillment into your life as well. Sometimes we forget that that is even possible for us. Sometimes we forget that things like that even exist. And those things right now need your focus. Spirit's like, what fuels you, and not necessarily what drains you, is something that needs your focus as well. And then we have the Strength card and the 6 of Wands, which I think is really interesting. I believe that one of the things that needs your focus is a reminder that you will succeed in any endeavor that you are trying to push your way through, whether this is a loss, a relationship, whether this is a career move, just a new beginning, or anything like that. Spirit's like, you focus on what you can accomplish, and focus on your own strength and the good things about you. And the fact that the 6 of Wands is talking about you being successful in these things. Okay, like, so if you are thinking that you failed, or you're thinking, or sometimes we tend to think of ourselves negatively, Spirit's like, think of the good things, focus on the good things and what you have already overcome, and not always where you need to be or where you feel like you should be in this life and this journey from here point on. Like, Spirit's like, you are tremendously strong, and I think sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit. And sometimes we need to focus on what is working out, and not what hasn't worked out, or what was, or even sometimes what will be. Like, Spirit's like, you're already at a place where you can be proud of yourself. You're already at a place where you can say, I'm strong, I've overcome. And it's okay to pat yourself on the back. Like, Spirit wants you to focus on praising yourself in ways, instead of subconsciously tearing yourself down. Sometimes we kind of don't even realize how much we just point out the negative things in our life and the negative things about us. It's something that we all do, and it's something that takes a lot of practice to switch. But I feel like this is definitely about your life and about yourself. Like, I feel like this strength card is coming through as an accomplishment, whatever that may be, even if it's just a cycle in your life. Spirit's like, you've accomplished so much already. Like, you've been so strong already. Like, you've already done so much work. It's okay to sit with yourself now where you're at and really appreciate the person that you've become. And even if you want to become something different, or the person you're becoming as well, because the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck can indicate that there is some sort of plan here that you can focus on too. Like, anything or any ideas that you've had recently about bettering your life, or whether it's like plans in your finances, plans for your career, plans to go out, plans, anything that is positive, Spirit wants you to focus on that and make sure that you are finishing what you start. Make sure that you are doing these things. You're taking care of yourself. You're putting yourself first. There's something here with the Two of Wands about things that have yet to come and a vision moving forward. And Spirit wants you to focus on that moving forward specifically, or just the visions of things yet to come, and also the here and now. But anything that's like holding you back, and a lot of this seems to be mental with the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords, any of those thoughts that are telling you anything negative about yourself, or that are telling you that you can't be happy because you don't have this, you don't have this person, you don't have this thing, or anything like that. Those aren't true, and that's bullshit. Okay? And anything negative about yourself, specifically in your own mind, Spirit's like, stop focusing on that. Banish that. Okay, I want to get a couple of these oracles here for you. So what should pile 1 be focusing on, Spirit? We have Turkey. Let's see what we have so far. Okay, so we have Turkey, someone is behaving stupidly, and then we have Shark, take care or there will be loss of material wealth. You could be butting heads with somebody, or have in the recent past or in the past, just because those two things are like taking hold right now. Let's get a couple more and then we'll talk about it. Ooh, money path. Ooh, I love that. So Spirit's like, yeah, focus on your money right now. We have a path with money is waiting for you to find it. And we'll talk about this. I don't want any of this to scare you. We'll talk about it right now. We have Spear, heartache over what you no longer have. I want to get 2 more from this deck. Okay, so we have Wishbone, a wish is granted. That's always an amazing sign as well too, because there's a broken wishbone in there too. There's a lot of cards in here, but it just reminded me that there's a dual energy to that. So we also have Forest, which is muddled and unclear thinking. Bottom of the deck, we have Wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. So it's interesting that you're watching a reading about what Spirit wants you to focus on, and Spirit wants you to focus on the things that you are meant to accomplish here in this lifetime, or at least these beautiful, wonderful ideas or things that, even if you have yet to discover them, are waiting for you to discover. Spirit is like, no more focusing on what was or anything like that. Of course, you can nurture your feelings. There's the difference between that. But if you can't do anything about a certain situation right now, Spirit's like, it doesn't need your focus at this time. Don't allow your emotions to overtake you to the point where you fall in a rut or you feel like you are getting behind. Like, make sure that you are still setting out and you are accomplishing the things that you need to accomplish, even if some days you don't feel as motivated, because there's amazing things for you. And the Shark Spirit, the shark energy is a go-getter. The shark energy is like, I'm gonna focus on what I want and I'm gonna go after it. And sometimes we need that little push. Sometimes we need that shark energy. So you can call upon that shark energy or ask your spirit team to give you that push, a little push when you need it as well. Because there's beautiful things that are awaiting you. Like whatever this wish is, could be something that you are working on. It could be just your life in general, like bettering it. Spirits like that is possible. And that's kind of like what I was feeling with that 10 of Cups too. Like these fulfillment things, like these things that you want in your life that you feel are going to make your life much better, they are possible for you. It is going to take your focus. It is going to take some work, and it is going to take you probably focusing more on yourself too, and the manifestation, like, and the aligned actions and things like that, and then also allowing them to come towards you as well. So what I mean by that is this could be an array of things too. Obviously we're focused here on the money, and Spirit wants you to focus on that sort of path for your own abundance, not let your own thoughts overtake you, distract you, or what's the phrase that I'm looking for this? Kind of like, it feels like there's a part of you that gets a little discouraged, or there could, for some of you, it could be a part of you where a lot of your energy and focus is going towards something that isn't benefiting you at this time. And so Spirit's like, take that energy with discipline, of course, but also with intention, to cut that focus and focus on what you can do and what can happen and what will fuel you on these things. So your life, your day-to-day routines, your health, your money, all of these things. Like for some of you, I'm definitely getting like this could be like you are going through with the heartache over what you no longer have. And even your channeled song, it could be, you could be going through a sense of loss or maybe a breakup or things like that. And Spirit is like, I'm acknowledging your strength, but also you need to live for you now. Like you need to do what's best for you. And Spirit's like, you have so much potential and you have so much beautiful things going. Make sure that you are not overlooking this. Make sure that you are not wasting a lot of your time on things that can't suit you. Like you can't control other people's behavior. And I felt with this turkey, someone is behaving stupidly. This could be another person's behavior towards you, and it sucks. And you really can't control other people, and it's just a fact. And sometimes we just have to accept that some people do behave stupidly. Some people don't make the best decisions, and you don't need to continue pouring yourself or pouring your energy into anyone or anything that isn't fulfilling you. And I think that this is also for some of you about gaining a sense of independence for yourself, living for yourself, finding something very beautiful and important to live for and focusing on that, which is probably your goals. I like to say too, especially with this wheel, it says indecisive, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Having just goals, and even if they're just like the littlest, tiniest little goals, like little fitness goals or money goals or career goals, having like little goals, it just makes our life so much more fulfilling as well. Like it makes it to where we can wake up and we have things to do. It's like we have things to accomplish. We have a life to get done, you know, to live. And even if they're so minute or like, you know, like I said, so simple, just setting yourself up in that way, or like setting yourself up for success, or having these little goals to just something to look forward to and something to accomplish, it is a way to create a fulfilling life, especially if they're in the direction of what we want or the life that we want to live. And so it's important to focus on those things right now, because that needs your energy, and that's just going to make your life a hell of a lot better, especially if there's something that's been gnawing at you or pulling at you, like a person or a loss or something that you just quite literally can't control right now at this time. It's understandable. It's so understandable. But I think that Spirit's also saying it's time. Like it's time to set these plans, it's time to set these goals, and it's time to get after it, because it literally says a path of money is waiting to find it. But then we have this muddled, unclear thinking like right here with it too. So sometimes when we overthink things, or sometimes when we're so clouded by other people's bullshit or other things going on, it really is hard to focus, but you will find it. And it all starts with just following what you want, like the wishbone, like your wishes in this life as well. And trust that other aligned things are coming to you too. Like, it's not just that's maybe it, like that's not going to be it in your life and then it's over. It's like you will be put in different paths as well too, maybe paths with other people. There's just a lot to look forward to in life in general, but there's also a mystery to it that is a positive thing, you know? So I want to get one more, or no, I have 2 more decks here. So let's hurry. But I have to pull this one off camera just because sometimes there's nudity and I don't think I covered it. So what should pile 1 focus on, Spirit? Ooh, so we have the last straw. What should pile 1 focus on? Oh shit. We have the 0 fucks. Let's get one more from this deck. I love that it goes from 10 to 0 to ending cycle. Like, oh my gosh, this last straw to me is like, I think that Spirit's saying like, it's okay, it's interesting. There's a couple different messages, but it's like, obviously if this is pertaining to a certain situation, Spirit's like, that's it. Okay, no more chances, no more this, no more that. That's it. Enough's enough. And for some of you, this could also be, and I don't want to sound harsh because I do this, I say this to myself all the time, and sometimes we have to be like that parent to ourselves, and we have to say enough is enough of our own bullshit too. Like, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep focusing on this. Or if you are kind of procrastinating, or you get what I'm saying, right? It's like anything that you feel you're kind of getting sick of. Sometimes we have to like be that parent to ourselves and be like, hey, enough's enough with this, with these patterns, with this stuff. We got to change the direction here. We got to go somewhere else. We got to, you know, if you want to, you say like, if for example, you want to get summer ready, like you want to, have a glow up by summer, but then at 10 o'clock at night, you keep going in the kitchen and eating like, like so much food. That's like the last straw. Like, okay, stop doing that because we want other things. If you want to advance in your career, but you keep procrastinating and putting all this off, or you're focusing on other things, like enough is enough. But also, I feel like this could also pertain to like an actual situation with somebody for some of you as well. It's like Spirit's like, okay, that's the last straw. You don't need to put up with this anymore. You've seen what you've seen. You've seen what you needed to see. It's time for acceptance, and it's time to not give any more fucks about anything except those who love you, those who feel you, your goals, your admirations, yourself, but anything else that's been pushing your buttons or draining you, Spirit's like, guys, no more. We're done with that. And also, this is also tied to your happiness as well. It's not just tough love here. I think that it's that old notion of like, the less fucks you give or the less you care, the happier you truly are. Spirit's definitely saying like, you need to implement that in your routines, in your day-to-day life as well too. The less you care about what other people are doing or anything of that nature, the happier you are. And you can just focus on yourself and what you actually truly care about and what truly aligns for you. Oh, speaking of that, we have the child. So for some of you, if you have a child, we're just going to state the obvious. Focus on them. Oh, and then the bottom of the deck, let me make sure there's no nudity under there. Okay, the bottom of the deck, we have the fiddle leaf fig. If it's not worth your time, if it's too much energy to keep these things afloat, to keep these relationships alive, to keep these people happy, and anything else like with that could be tied into the zero effects, Spirit saying like, let it burn. You don't need to focus on anything else anymore. If you can't do it, if it's too hard, if it's too painful, Spirit's like, it's okay. Pile in, let it go. Let it burn. It'll be better off that way anyways. And then the child as well. Like if you don't have a child, this is definitely like focus on the things that bring you joy. It's very much inner child. It's very much allow yourself to play, allow yourself to enjoy, allow yourself to indulge in the moment. Sometimes being in the moment, even if you have like stresses and worries, if you're able to say, okay, I'm not going to let those get to me right now, and I'm just going to completely focus on this moment, it literally feels like you and life are just vibing. I don't know how else to explain it. Like you and life are just in love, like when you're fully in the moment. And don't get me wrong, you'll get out of the moment. You'll start thinking about things again, but just come back. And that child within you is trying to tell you what it wants to do and where it wants to go by how things make you feel. I just heard painting for some of you. If you like to paint, or doing something very creative and artistic is something that can fuel you, fuel that creativity and just get you in the moment. I heard pints. Now I just heard pints and paint. So you can look up maybe like any kind of local things that they may have around you. Like for example, I think that's the name of one of the local ones that I have. It's like paints and pints or something like that. And it's basically like you go to this little paint class with your friends and you get drinks at the same time. If you're 21 and over, of course. If you're not, then you can just paint. That's fine too. Something fun, you know, like doing something fun is what Spirit wants you to focus on. And there's something guiding you towards that too. So just do whatever you feel like you want to do. Okay, and these are the last messages for you. Are we still rolling? Oh, hell yeah, we are rolling. So Spirit, what are these last messages of what pile 1 should focus on right now, please? Friendships can be confusing. People have different roles in your life. Some relationships won't last. Learn from everyone. Sometimes we have to just kind of accept what people show us and not take it personally as well either. And I think that this is also acknowledging that, yeah, relationships in general are confusing. It's hard to sometimes figure out what's going on with other people or to read signs. But for a lot of you, if somebody is leaving you tremendously confused, that can also be a sign. Now, not for everybody, but that can also be a sign as well of like, maybe you should not focus on that too much anymore. Like if you're feeling confused by certain relationships, friendships, people, they're making you feel bad or any kind of negative feelings, Spirit's like, maybe that doesn't deserve your time or your focus right now, anything, but you definitely have learned a lot. And I like that it says people have different roles in your life. And also the message of impermanence and also kind of acceptance is coming through a little bit with that too, of the sometimes things just don't last. And it's not your job to hold things together, to be the glue of everything as well too. Sometimes you can just relax and let things happen and work out the way that they're meant to work out. And that's also a sense of peace as well too. Like it's not your job to be there for everybody or to do everything for everybody, especially if they don't do that for you. Oh, look at this is like the child. It says, oh, and be in the moment. We have further confirmation of that very first message as well. We lighten up. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. Be in the moment. Again, that feels like a sigh of relief of like, you don't have to be responsible for your every little thing that's meant to happen in your life. Like there is a higher power. There are things that are meant to happen to you, and there are things that are going to unfold naturally for you that you don't have to force. You don't have to be aware of it even. Like you can just like relieve yourself and let go of the responsibility of everything and just be here now and just focus on the things that you want to focus on. Do the things that you want to do. If you have goals like we were talking about, if you don't, then just vibe. It's your life, you know? And I do like this lighten up, like Spirit's like, hey, not everything has to be so serious. Like you have fun. Enjoy the moment. Be silly. Laugh at yourself too. Last thing. Your body kept you alive today. Don't obsess about imperfections. Love yourself unconditionally. Oh, That's so sweet, and that reminds me of what we were talking about too, to look at the good things. Like, it's so easy to look in the mirror and point out all the things that we need to fix, right? Like, or point out like that little bit of cellulite, or those stretch marks, or that freaking dimple, or that pimple, or that, you know what I'm saying? Or anything. Like, it's so easy, and I'll be transparent with you, and I'll be honest with you. I do that sometimes too. It's natural. We live in a society where that has been embedded in our minds since like the beginning of time, since we like came out of the womb. We were always told we have to be a certain type of way, we have to do this, we have to look like this, you know. And so it's something that has deep claws, but it also is something that still is curable. Like, and it just needs your attention to focus on the good things and the positive things. I bet you if I saw you in person right now, I could probably name like 10 beautiful things about you. I could probably name like 10 things that I admire about you if I was talking to you, or you know what I'm saying? Because as people, we don't always look for the imperfections in other people. And if we do, like if we do notice the imperfections in other people, I guarantee that 99% of the time they're imperfections that we don't accept within ourselves. Like, we're looking at ourselves through other people's lens, you know? So what I'm trying to say is, you have amazing things about you. You have beauty about you, even if it's something so unique too. Like, I hate that how sometimes like we feel like we have to conform to like cookie cutter beauty standards, because I find that unique like features in people are so beautiful. Like, one of the things that I find so attractive in people is like a big like ethnic nose. I don't know how else to describe it. Like ooh, especially like, oh my gosh, like Middle Eastern like people, they just have the most beautiful features to me. And they don't all have big noses or anything like that, but when it has like, or like when a nose has like a bridge, you know, when it kind of has like, it doesn't even have to be like about the size, but when it has like a bridge, or like a Roman nose, or like just something like that makes it different, to me is something that's so beautiful. And there's actually like a philosophy based on that. I can't remember what it's called, and I want to say it's like Japanese. So I'm so sorry if I can't remember the name of it, but you can look it up. It's basically about finding the beauty in the imperfections, like having a cup that's cracked and just admiring it and thinking that it's so beautiful because it has that crack there. That could also be a practice for you to look into, as well as finding the beauty in the things that we consider not beautiful all the time. But I promise you, they are beautiful to me, and promise you there's probably a lot of other people that think it too. But it doesn't matter what other people think, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's alone with you and your thoughts, and you need to be kind to yourself. And remember that your body is more than just an aesthetic tool anyways. I know we go off on that. I was just talking about how beautiful certain noses are, but they're also really good for smelling and they help you taste amazing foods, because like smell influences the way that foods taste drastically. And like you have a wonderful, amazing body that does keep you alive and that functions for you, you know, effortlessly. Like, your heart beats when you sleep and you're not aware of it. You know, your body processes food, your atoms are flowing or moving, your cells are cleaning, they're doing all these beautiful things. What the heck? Why did I just hear the powerhouse of the cell is the mitochondria? Like, okay. I don't know, maybe biology, or is that biology? Yeah, biology would be good to look into. You'd be interested into learning how your body functions. That way you can appreciate it more. But just being appreciative for all of the things it does naturally. You don't need to be hard on your body. It makes me sad to think that you're probably hard on your body. We all are. We beat our bodies up for just being like, they're trying their best. And even if you guys, or some of you, may suffer from like health issues and things like that, I know that it can be hard to love our bodies if they're hurting us as well too. So just try your best to be nice to yourself even on the tough days as well. But yeah, I think that's it, guys, on what you should be focusing on right now. A lot of it is your own beauty, and I think a lot of it is just not giving a fuck. I love that came out. It's so true though. Sometimes the less we care, the happier we truly are. And I hope you find peace, and I hope you find your happiness. It comes from within as well, but sometimes it doesn't feel that way. So I hope that you are able to feel that, see that ASAP right now or tomorrow or whenever. But I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys got something out of it, or I hope it, at the very least, was maybe just a little entertaining. That works too. Anyways, thank you guys for the ones who like the videos, who comment, who share, who are subscribed. Quite literally could not do it without you. You are literally the channel. You are the reason why I make these videos and I have this channel. So I'm so grateful for you. And I can't wait to read for you guys in the next one. So hopefully I'll see you there. Bye. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose the pink cat's eye heart or if you chose the Muse tarot deck, either way, welcome. Glad you are here. So today we are asking, what should you be focusing on at the time that you're coming across this reading? So what in your life, what area of your life or certain things should you be focusing on at the time that you come across this? For your greatest good, for your highest good, of course, for the betterment of your life. What should you be focusing on? So first things first, I just want to ask Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my Pile 2's collective energy. If you can please show me in Pile 2 with the most clarity what they should be focusing on in their life and anything else they may need to hear about this as well. Thank you so much, Spirit. Oof. Okay. So what should you be focusing on, Pile 2? The Two of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles. The Two of Swords. And the Star. Wow. Clarifying this Two of Cups here. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Clarifying the Ten of Pentacles here. Oh, we have the King of Pentacles. Well, that's the Muse of materials in this deck, but it's the King of Pentacles here with the Ten of Pentacles. I love that. Clarifying the Two of Swords here. We have the Ten of Wands, which is the Ten of Inspiration. And clarifying the Star. We have the Seven of Wands. I like that too. I like that energy too. Bottom of the deck, we have Temperance. Okay. Temperance is a beautiful energy of finding that balance when we feel overwhelmed or when we feel like we don't know what to do, where to go, if we feel like other people are influencing us, other things that are out of our control, you know, things like that. Temperance is always a great reminder to find that inner balance, come back to your center, and remember you are guided, you are in control of yourself, of how you react, and you are capable of making all of the correct decisions that you want to make in your life to achieve the things that you want to achieve. I'm going to start off by saying that, Pile 2. Okay, so one of the things that Spirit wants you to focus on is your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your finances, and your relationship with your own independence. What does that mean to you to be independent in your life? Spirit kind of wants you to ask yourself certain questions regarding that. Does it mean to be financially free? Does it mean to be not allowing other people in your relationships to consume you? Does it want you to have a balance of both, or where you don't feel like you have to rely on other people? I feel like independence right now is a big theme that Spirit wants you to focus on, because we have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the King of Pentacles. No wonder why I was like, wow, when I saw that, because that is a tremendous amount of potential. Spirit also wants you to focus on your future as well, and how to take steps in achieving the things that you want to achieve, or at least having that future that you feel you deserve or you want. So whether that's you want a future where you are financially stable, where you are comfortable, if you want a future where you have the things that you've been working for, if you've been working on manifestations, money, things like that. Even if you want a community, if you want a family, if you want children, or anything like that, whatever you find for yourself, for that vision that you have for yourself in the future, Spirit is saying that it is possible, but it does take a little bit of work. It does take some effort, and you may even be challenged sometimes with having faith in yourself. And that's okay. Spirit wants you to know that that's a part of the process, that we all go through things where we have to challenge old beliefs, or we all go through things where we have to fight sometimes for the things that we want, or sometimes we struggle just emotionally. Sometimes we get off track. Sometimes we worry or stress about the future. And sometimes we just don't know if things are even possible or going to work out for us. The reason why I'm saying all this is because this is a natural part of the process, and you aren't doing anything wrong, but there's just a need to shift when you are feeling that way, or when those things are arising, or when the stresses or the people do the things that we don't like them to do. All of these things, when these things arise, Spirit's like, remember that you have yourself. Remember to come back to that safe space, and remember that the independence that you are owning or you are gaining, that you are going to be focusing on, no one can take from you, and no one can take that relationship that you have with yourself from you. No one, if you become successful in your endeavors, no one can take those from you. Things that you are cultivating on your own are going to be for you and only for you, and everything else that comes along, like the people, or just anything like the friends, the family, anything else that comes along is just an additional plus, because you are your own anchor and you are capable of so many things. So Spirit wants you to focus on the things that you are capable of. Sometimes if you fall into a pattern of doubt, or if things don't seem to work out right when we want them to work out, or in the way that we're expecting, it can be very, very easy to get very upset or not discriminated. What's the word that I'm looking for? The one where you're like, you're not as motivated anymore. Dang it. This always happens. Discouraged. Thank you, Spirit. Discriminated. Hey, maybe that is a thing. Maybe you feel like you have been discriminated against in life, and those are just other people's projections as well. Okay, because you are 100% worthy and capable. Sometimes, okay, so Spirit also wants you to focus on following through and making the choices that you want to make, even if you feel overwhelmed. Like, Spirit really wants you to challenge any beliefs or fears or anything that comes up when it comes to you making the right choices that you feel in your heart are right for you, whatever those may be. And it could be something as minute as your day-to-day, like routine, or it could be something as big as like a life-changing choice as well, or things that you've decided to pursue. Sometimes it's okay, or sometimes it's hard to follow through with certain decisions if you're feeling overwhelmed on the inside, if you're feeling a lot of things that are happening internally, whether that's any type of conflict, or it just feels hard, whatever that may be to you, or whatever that means to you. Pile 2. But what I'm really saying too is that Spirit's like, push through. Push through any of those uncomfortable feelings. Keep choosing yourself. Keep choosing what's best for you. Follow that intuition. follow your heart, it is leading you somewhere. And again, a part of the process for certain things is you are going to be met with resistance, whether that's outer or inner. Just knowing that and acknowledging that is natural and, again, part of the process makes it easier for you to cope with it and move through these uncomfortable feelings as well. So if you have been feeling like you have been like stuck or procrastinating a certain situation or certain things, or maybe just in your life in general, like you haven't been doing the things that you want to do due to factors, like I said, inner or outer, Spirit's like, you have the strength, I promise, to continue on. And don't beat yourself up for the process either. That's a no-no. Don't do that. Okay, I want to get some other oracles as well here to see any additional information on what you should be focusing on. I don't know what order I went in pile 1. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I liked the flow of it. So, but I'm intuitively drawn to this one. I already have this one in my hand, so maybe that's a a message too. Sometimes things don't always go to plan, but you are listening to your intuition and things are going to work out just as they're supposed to anyways, even if it's not in the idea that we've had planned. Let it all work out, kind of, is what I'm getting with that. Okay, Spirit. So what are... Sorry, I just got a really intense face itch. What are some things that pile 2 should be focusing on right now? Plenty of material things, of course. And we have bird perched, waiting for news, package, or letter. This can also be in regards to too, like, because we were talking about with that 9 of Pentacles of like your own independence. So like material wealth as well. Like you have so much potential in this lifetime to make a lot of money, it seems, with the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. That is like full, like in the tarot, that is like, guys, you made it. Like you did it. And so with that being said, I feel sometimes with the bird perched here, sometimes we feel like we're waiting for the right time, or sometimes it feels like we're waiting for the green light, or we're waiting for something to happen, or waiting for someone to do something, or we're waiting for ourselves to feel like we're ready, anything like that. If that resonates with you, Spirit is saying, no more waiting. It's time for you to go out and get it, because there's plenty of material things in this world for you, as we can see in many different... You have, actually, now that I think about it, the King of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. Guys, get your money, because it is, it's getting real here. Like, you have a tremendous amount of potential to be very successful, or to be very well off in whatever it is you decide to do, or whatever it is that you are deciding to do. Okay. And for some of you, you could be literally waiting for a news, for a package, or for some good news. This could also be like telling you as well that it is going to be okay, that it is going to work out for you. Let's see what else we have. Why am I thinking of, you know what's crazy, guys? I woke up this morning and I'm just remembering too, it completely left my mind, but I had some weird dreams last night, off topic, but I woke up this morning with my palm itching really bad. And then in my head, I was like, that means money. So maybe for some of you, notice for certain signs or certain things, you can even ask for certain signs or certain things that show you that you are on the right path, that can help you stay determined, that can help you stay focused and move forward regardless of what any of the outer circumstances or potentially inner circumstances are telling you at this time. Seems to be like a very goal-oriented pile, or at least if you don't have any specific goals, then it's time to. Oh. So, disappointment in a friend or lover. This caught my attention as well. If you are going through a situation where you have been disappointed by a friend or a lover or the people around you, or you're maybe going through a breakup as well, Spirit saying that maybe the focus should be on your glow up, on your life, again, more of your independence. This is a very empowering way to help us heal from certain situations. When we get better and we shift that energy to ourselves, it feels like we're healing with more of a purpose, even though you can heal however you would like, and it doesn't matter, like your purpose is your purpose. But if you understand what I'm talking about, you'll get it, like where you, and I know that this is actually pretty common, because I'm thinking of like a quote or like a funny meme where it's like, oh, when certain people, when they go through a breakup, all of a sudden they have like 3 degrees, 2 new careers, and a new house and all of this stuff. It's because like all of that energy is fixed and focused on yourself now, and you're like, it's like a redemption arc for you. And so if that is the case for some of you, if you are going through that, Spirit's like, now's the time to push through. And I mean, depending on how you want to use it, it can also make you feel really good too, that you don't need anybody else. That you're like, hey, maybe that person, for example, like maybe they were bringing you down, or they could have just been really distracting you. I'm not saying that they're a bad person or anything like that. Sometimes we just get distracted in life, and now it's like all focus is on you. Watch how your life flourishes. Like, watch all the things you can accomplish now. It's crazy. And I feel like that is like transmutation as well at its finest. It's like you're going to be using these things to your benefit, even if they feel like they suck and they're not for your benefit. At the end of the day, you're going to win. What should pile 2 be focusing on? Spirit. Ooh, the bottom of the deck, we have sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. So you could be focusing on as well, just starting fresh. For some of you, like it could just feel like a new beginning is on the horizon with that sunrise, as well as if you have any creative ideas or ventures, like it's talking about, it's time to put that plan into action, do it. Oh, lighthearted, carefree time. I was going to say that if you feel like you just can't deal, then don't be afraid to spend some time for yourself, as in like going out, having fun, and give yourself time and energy and space to not necessarily care too much about or put too much pressure on yourself as well. There's beauty and magic in letting go and allowing yourself to just live for a little bit, because it's almost like it builds this momentum for you as well, where you're able to accumulate that. And when it's time to get back to business, like you are back on track. Like it's like you have more energy now instead of you feeling a little depleted. So also I think Spirit does want you to focus on having more fun, maybe going out with friends if you feel like you need to. If that can be something that is so therapeutic, as well as just not worrying about anything at this time. And I know that's really hard if we have things to worry about, but it's think of it as a form of self-care, of like, I'm going to have this amount of time. And also remind yourself that you are still going to get the things that you need to get done. You're still going to get over the things that you need to get over. You're still going to accomplish all of these things. That's not changing with you taking some time for yourself to have a little bit of fun, to have a good time. You'll get back on track for sure. We also have period of frustration, lessons to be learned, and we have a financial pinch. Okay. So Spirit wants you to know as well, to focus on, obviously, again, we have your money and certain things. There could be a little bit of pressure put on you at this time for a specific reason. And I feel like what's going to happen with this funnel energy is you feel very like restricted, or it feels like it's not happening when it's supposed to happen. And Spirit does not want you to get discouraged. Spirit wants you to know that, again, this is energy. This is momentum. These are things that are building through. Eventually, it will all start to flow. Eventually, it will start to feel lighter, and eventually it will start to feel good. So I think that this is one of the things too. And also Spirit just wants you to get your money up. Like it could be for a reason, like Spirit in your life could be a divine reason, like in your life, like a purpose that you're going through, to have a little bit of pressure put on you so you can achieve these things. Pressure makes a diamond. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to come out. And the thing is that it's going to work out for you regardless. Like you're going to come out successful either way. So it's all a part of the plan. I keep saying that with you, huh? How many times have I said that? All right, Spirit, what else can you tell us about the things that pile 2 needs to focus on here, please? I'm going to pick these off camera just because there is nudity on some of them. Oh, okay, but we're good here. So we have the breast pump. Oh, this came out in pile 1 too, and I was thinking that with the jug. Sorry, the jug. This card like literally came to my mind, and I was like, this came out in pile 1. So we have the 0 fucks card. And we have the T. This message makes perfect sense. Bottom of the deck here, we have the Tower as well. Okay. The Tower met with this sunrise makes me think that the sun is going to come out for you soon, that things may not seem the best right now in other situations, like in your life. Like the Tower could be things falling apart. The Tower could feel very chaotic or like a little bit uncertain in our situation at the time. And it feels like with this sunrise, there's like a new beginning. But let's talk about this message, okay? It's very clear, cut, straight to the point. Whatever you have been worried about, the things that you have been focused on that seem to be draining you with this breast pump, because the breast pump is a card of like our life force energy. It's a card of like where we are giving, what is draining us, what is pumping us. Is it going towards something good? Is it going towards something we can't control? Anything that is causing you to be drained, or you just feel like you're giving too much energy of, Spirit's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time with the 0 fucks. The message with this card in pile 1, I feel like is still relevant here because it's about the happiness and the quality of our life. And it's very true when they say the less you care or the less fucks you give, the happier you truly are. And I think in this situation, Spirit's like, it's time to let go, to dump any of that nonsense out. Or even if it's not nonsense, any of the things that have been draining you. Spirit wants you to focus on not caring so much about those things, and maybe even shifting your focus or shifting your care to things that do fuel you, like carefree times, money, your career, whatever it is that you're focusing on or meant to be focusing on in this reading as well. And this is why I think Spirit, the main message or the first message was like about your own independence, your relationship with yourself and with your finances and with your own life. The relationship that you have with your life. Do you love it? Is it good? Of course, it's not all good and we can't be positive all the time, but you can have an overall census of like, I do have a good life. And if you don't feel like you do, Spirit is saying to focus on what you can do to make your life good for you, or how it feels good. It doesn't even necessarily have to be how it looks at all, because it's all about how it feels, right? How does your life feel to you? And that importance. But anything else, Spirit's like, it's time to dump this away. You can even give the middle finger to certain thoughts, feelings, or hey, if you feel called to, certain people. You don't have to start conflict or start arguments, but you could do it in your head. I probably flip a lot of people off in my head, probably more than I would like to admit, but it feels good. I'm an Aries moon, dude. Sometimes it's better than random outbursts, and then I don't care anymore. Like 5 minutes later. And it's not even people too. It's like just instances or things in life that just piss me off. So you can do that as well. And you can say, hey, I don't care. Ask yourself at times too, when you find yourself stressing or thinking or over analyzing or overlooking, like think about sometimes, do I actually really care? Like if it has to do, for example, like with putting yourself out there and like people maybe not responding the way that you want, that can seem like really scary and really shitty in the moment. But then if you ask yourself, wait, do I really care though about that or about that opinion? Most likely the answer is going to be like no, because why should you, or why would you? Even though it feels like there's something that we care, but usually that's tied to some sort of like wound, and that's something that you can acknowledge in its own thing, but that doesn't mean that you really care so much about what this other person thinks or their opinion. It just means that there's something to probably be looked at within you of like, why do you feel that way, or why is it triggering you? And then you can nurture yourself in that aspect as well. But yeah, the T card is what the image quite literally looks like. Anything and everything that you don't need, it's time to dump it. I like that it's being dumped on a bed of roses too, because that means that it's going to something useful as well. It's being dumped out, and it's going to flourish in other ways, which means you're probably going to make room or just have more energy or have more time for the things that actually matter in your life. Okay, so this is the last deck for you for any of the messages on what you should focus on right now. Spirit, what else can you tell us about this message or this reading today? Your body, mind, heart equals your choice. Your life, your choice. But be mindful that your choices can affect others. I think that's reminding you as well that you're in charge. You choose what you want to do. You wake up, and I know we have subconscious patterns, but when you bring awareness to your daily choices and the things that you're constantly choosing, because almost everything that we do is a choice in some way, shape, or form. Like when you bring your awareness to that, you remind yourself, hey, it's my choice. I choose what I want to do today. I choose what I want. And it's not anyone else's choice as well. It's your choice on what you can do. Now, you can't control anyone else's like choices for them, like, or you can't control their thoughts, feelings, or even their actions, but you choose how you respond, and you choose what you want to accept, what you don't want to accept, what you want in your life, what you don't want in your life, all of that. It's like an empowering message, I feel, with this. Remind yourself that you're in charge here. You're the boss, and you choose. Watch who you hang out with. They have influence over you. Choose your friends wisely. And let's get one more and we'll talk about them. One more card here for pile 2. Uh-oh. Oh. I was feeling something like along that nature. And the bottom of the deck is don't roll your eyes. Maybe for some of you, you're like, ugh, don't want to think about this person, or I don't care about them, because that's good. You shouldn't care. But if they don't deserve your care, of course. But maybe acknowledging certain things helps us dump them out in the process. And it does feel counterintuitive. And it's okay to feel how you feel. Of course. It says you miss them. Loss is really hard. Big hugs. Validate your feelings. However it seems to other people doesn't matter. Like, how you feel is how you feel, and you should validate those feelings, and you should accept certain things, and especially certain truths in your life. And remember that sometimes people just aren't the best for you, whether or not like they have that much influence over you. Like if this is friends, family, or anything like that, I think this is about paying attention to how they make you feel, or what kind of things they bring into your life. Is it sadness? Is it love? Is it, you know, obviously you would keep the positive ones, and anyone else that causes anything negative in your life, you may want to think and choose and contemplate what to do with that. And if you have to, or you have had a situation where in the past you are recently going through a breakup, just remember that grief is grief, and you feel how you feel. Don't try to hide it, or don't try to deny it, or say I shouldn't feel that way. No, you feel how you feel. But there comes a point in time where you don't need to give your energy to these things anymore. And that's why coming back to that center of like, well, the less I care about this situation, if it's stressing me out, the happier I'll be. And keep practicing that, and you'll get there. And hey, you know, when you heal, sometimes you don't even realize that eventually at some point in time, you kind of just wake up one random day and you just really don't give a fuck. And that's beautiful. But who knows when that day is going to come too. It's different for everybody, but it is possible. And it does happen, okay? But I just want to say too, like, be kind to yourself with this energy as well. Like the big hugs, loss is really hard. Like, make sure that you are having your own sense of self-compassion. And if people like did hurt you, or if you're going through a situation where you are hurt, please don't kick yourself when you're down. Be that motherly, loving figure that you need, and to say, hey, this is tough, but hey, you're doing a great job, because you are. You know? But I think Spirit's also saying, and then when you feel like it's time, shift your focus. That's kind of the point of the cards behind, is like the time, when the time comes, like it's time to not care too much. Make sure that you're not putting too much energy into that. And I know that that probably even sounds confusing. Like now you're probably like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I do this or do that? And that's temperance, balance. And make sure you're giving a lot more time to yourself right now, is what Spirit's coming through to say as well. The shift in focus should definitely be on you in your life, regardless. Yeah, you've been through, I think, a lot of growth recently. And growth can be tough. Growth. Gross. It is gross. It's annoying, isn't it? Growth can be tough, though. It can be gross. I think that's it, though, guys. I am going to leave this reading here. Yeah. I hope it helped. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for being here. I love reading for you guys. And I love that you love the readings. And even if you don't love the readings, that's okay. I'm just happy you're here. So I'm going to send you on your merry little way. Thank you to those who support the channel, though. Thank you to those who interact with the videos in any way, like liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. All of that interaction just means the world to me, and quite literally couldn't do it without you. You guys are the reason why this channel exists. So I appreciate you so, so, so much. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading. I will see you guys there. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the green fluorite diamond, or if you chose the Star Seeker Tarot, whatever it is that you chose, welcome. Glad to have you here. So today we are asking, what should you be focusing on right now in your life? For your highest good, of course, for the betterment of your life. What deserves your focus, your attention? So first things first, I'm going to ask Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my Pile 3's collective energy. If you can please show me in Pile 3 with the most clarity, please, what should they be focusing on at this time? Thank you very much. So what should you be focusing on? Pile 3. Ooh, we have the womb, which is the number 22, which is actually a special and specific card in this particular deck. Wow. I just heard too, if there's any things that you need to be nurturing or manifesting, definitely deserves your focus right now at this time. What should Pile 3 be focusing on? I was like gonna say, what should they be speaking? That was really random. Maybe for some of you, this could have to do with speaking or focusing on the things that you're saying. Words can be very influential in our life, and our subconscious is always listening. So maybe focusing on certain things that you are saying, whether you're saying them externally, internally, they may have an effect on you as well. So make sure that you're saying things that align with your true self, your true knowing, and what you truly want. We have the Four of Cups. The Nine of Swords. And the Ten of Pentacles. Clarifying the womb card here. Oh. The Eight of Swords. Clarifying the Four of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles. Clarifying the Nine of Swords. the Ten of Wands, and clarifying the Ten of Pentacles here. What you should be focusing on, pile 3. The Chariot. Bottom of the deck energy, we have Temperance. Temperance is the bottom of the deck energy in pile 2, which with the reading I literally just did. I can also see a little bit of similarities here as well too. When it comes to maybe specifics though, I think it could be different. So let's talk about it. I feel like with this Womb card and the Eight of Swords, Spirit's reminding you that there are things that are happening in your life that you may not be able to see right now. The womb can also represent us needing to go within or to ask for kind of nurturing guidance from our spirit team or from Spirit. It's a reminder that you are safe, that you are being guided, and sometimes our thoughts or whatever's happening around us may not necessarily reflect that, but that does not mean that it's not true, okay? There's something here about taking your time, nurturing yourself, nurturing your manifestations, whatever it is that we were talking about in the very beginning that may deserve or need your focus here, and enjoying the process as well. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Take it day by day. Take your life step by step, choice by choice, and you will find yourself to feel more happier or more content in your day-to-day routines, because it is all about the mundane here too. Now, if there, basically Spirit's kind of saying with this Four of Cups, if there is anything that you are unhappy with right now, or you are discontent with, or if you find yourself bored a lot or just having extra time and not really, sometimes just not enjoying it or having the most enjoyment out of our situation or out of our life that we can, Spirit is saying do what you can to fix those certain things. So focus on that, whatever it is that is causing you any type of distress, or if you feel like this, your life would be better if you had this, or your life would be better if it went like this. Spirit saying like you can make those things possible. It may take some hard work with the Eight of Pentacles, or it may just take work in general, or may take perfecting a craft or whatever it is. Like there's something here though that it is going to pay off, and there's a reason why. It's supposed to be like those things are showing you something in your life, and that you are capable of changing that, regardless of like how the process may seem. Like sometimes things are, some things are harder than others, some things are easier than others, but it doesn't mean that nothing is ever not possible for you, especially in regards to you enjoying your own life. The Four of Cups can also mean that we're focused too much on a certain thing or a certain outcome, maybe certain things that haven't happened yet, or whatever it is that you may be focusing too much on. There's something behind you. There's something here that deserves your focus as well. And I think it could have to do with maybe a craft of yours. It could even be like this person's just like kind of so engulfed in their work that they don't really have time to think too much about maybe everything else that's going on. They seem to be pretty content. So if you have extra free time, Spirit's like use that to focus it on something that benefits you, that can get you where you want to go in life. It doesn't say that you have to work so hard or you have to get burnt out or anything like that, but it's basically there's something here for a lot of you that's important, that does need your focus, and I'm going to assume that you intuitively already know what that may be. Even if it is your work, it could be about making more money, it could be like moving up. For some of you, this is maybe like a side hustle or a craft or a service or something that you're capable of or you provide, or a talent that Spirit's like, hey, take the time to nurture that, take the time to work on that, because there are things that are going to come from that, okay? And they have the potential to actually change your life and change your circumstances, to go from this Four of Cups to whatever it is that you want to be, okay? And I think Spirit really wants you to shift the focus. We have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands. This is a lot of stress. This is sometimes our thoughts being our own worst enemy. And Spirit wants you to focus and notice what is actually draining you. What are these things? Where are they coming from? Why are they here? And allow yourself to lift certain burdens. I think that Spirit wants you to take the focus off things that you aren't necessarily responsible for. You may actually be taking on more responsibility in your life at this time that you need to. And so loosening up a little bit, loosening those grips, allowing yourself to only focus on the things that you can control, which is yourself, your reactions, what you can do, your time, your efforts, your whatever it is that you decide, your plans that day, any of those things, of course, are what you can focus on. If there's anything else that is stressing you out to the point where you feel sometimes overwhelmed, immobilized, you're tired, you're exhausted, spirits like that doesn't need your focus anymore. Focus on where your focus is actually going at times too. And this is just the power of awareness. I'm going to be honest, that's literally all that is too. It's just the power of awareness and focusing on how we're feeling, what's causing that, and bringing your awareness back to where you feel like it should be. And the 10 of Pentacles and the Chariot here is saying to never stop striving for that future that you want as well. To build, to push through, to create the life that you feel you deserve, which is the similar message I felt for pile 2. I think I almost said that exact same thing, but this is what it's definitely meaning to me. And the 8 of Pentacles with the 10 of Pentacles here is all about, it's all a part of the process. And the Chariot reminds us that sometimes it takes willpower. Sometimes it takes us to steer in a certain direction and continue on, even if we're hit with maybe sometimes not feeling motivated enough, or we're hit with obstacles or things like that. The Chariot is about your strength and willpower to power through anything. And the 10 of Pentacles is that full potential or that future that you envision for yourself. So if that's your goals or just life in general, or even if you just feel sparked or you feel a desire to just change your situation because you're not necessarily content with it, that's enough. And that's all you need as well to continue on this journey. Sometimes we're in a situation that we don't necessarily like, or that we're not feeling like is for us, or we want to change, or we're just sick of how things have been going. That can also be for divine reasons as well too, to spark that motivation, to light that inner flame, to say, hey, I got to do something about this. We got to change this. I got to work on this, or I got to put in some work for this, because it's going to be worth it, whatever that is to you, you know? And I think that Spirit is also wanting you to focus on the things that are sweet for you, that are good for you. And that helps in turn, like with each moment, us just feeling better. For like, what I mean by that too is like an example is like if you are somebody who finds yourself maybe overthinking a lot of situations, like you're always thinking about the next step, or you're always thinking about what you haven't done yet, or what you need to do, that steals our joy and steals some energy as well too from us being in the moment and enjoying that process. Whereas if you wake up and you say, okay, I'm going to take this one step at a time, I'm going to make this day mine, because I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do this and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to worry about my next task. I'm going to start with this and enjoy it, and then I'm going to move on to the next task, and I'm not going to let myself get overwhelmed with all the things that I have to do today. I'm just going to move through task by task, and I'm going to stop, and I'm going to have a little treat, and I'm going to pet my dog, and I'm going to do this, you know. Your days will be much more enjoyable, and that is just about bringing that mindfulness into your situation. You don't even have to change your entire routine. You just be more mindful in it, you know, and you do what you want to do, and that's it. And you'll notice that these steps and steps and steps are creating the future for you, because that's how we create the future, is in the now. We don't need to worry about too much about everything that hasn't happened yet or what we have to do. We just do little bits here and there and you'll be fine. And I think that the womb is a great card of potential as well too. So remember that you are focused on your own potential, not the things that you lack, not your fears, not your anxieties. Those things come up and it's natural, but you don't have to believe them. You don't have to focus on them. You are creating something, whether this is like your own rebirth or not. Spirit is saying with this womb card that you are protected, and that you are here for a divine reason, and that you need to nurture the things that you want to grow. So this is what you need to focus on, the things that you want to grow. Sometimes we're not able to see the whole bigger picture yet, or we just have to trust in the outcomes or trust in the process. And that is hard. Of course, that is hard, but it's totally, totally worth it at the end of the day. So let's see if we can get a little bit more specific, or get some other information, or maybe continue on this information about what you should be focusing on. So Spirit, what else can you tell us about what pile 3 should be focusing on? Oh no, of course you flew all the way over there. anything that's stealing your joy or stealing you out of the moment or anything like that, or stealing your peace or stealing your happiness, Spirit's like, please just acknowledge that and stop focusing on it. The Temperance card is a card that comes to us when we come back to a state of balance, a state of equilibrium as well. Not giving too much to each side, but just being. It's a beautiful energy of focus too. And I think the Temperance can also just be like where our power lies. And I'm hearing as well too, like you are somebody who is very in tune with Spirit. So if you don't intentionally, you know, allow Spirit as well into your day-to-day routine, Spirit saying to focus on that too. That can help you as well. A lot of spiritual guidance is there for you. Spiritual support, I'm hearing. Okay, let me get that card now. It flew all the way over there that I literally have to get up, so I'm kind of like... Ow, ow, ow. I almost broke my freaking nail now. Jeez. Okay, so the first card we have is Great Personal Sorrow. Spirit, why is this card coming out? What should pile 3 focus on? If this is in direct to that message of like your sorrows and the things that you don't like in your life and the things that cause you, this could also be the focus, the shifting the focus on how that can change and what can you do. Or for some of you, maybe processing your feelings is an important next step of your situation as well too. If we're holding a lot of things in and they're inside of us, they can build and build and build, and they can cause us to maybe just have random spurts of anxiety throughout the day and we don't even know where it's coming from. Everything could be fine. So sitting with yourself and allowing yourself to feel certain emotions is the first step to healing, or is the first step to releasing as well. You have to kind of let it flow through you. So if that resonates for you too, it could seem counterintuitive or counterproductive, but when you feel like it, it's time to focus on how you feel and why you're feeling like that. And even like journaling or getting maybe like an opinion from someone else, a trusted person though. If these are very personal things to you, then you don't have to talk to anybody about it. You could talk to yourself, or you could talk to Spirit about it. Or if you have like a counselor or a psychiatrist, if you're, you know, privileged enough to be able to do that, then I would say definitely do that. But my point is like getting it out, or even just like journaling. Like I'm always a big advocate for journaling. Actually, I haven't journaled in a while, and I think I'm really actually due for a good, sesh where I just sit down and I write out all my feelings and I don't judge them. And it could be the most, it could be anything, like things that you wouldn't normally say to other people or anything. If it's just how you feel without judgment, getting it all out on paper feels, first of all, it feels really good to get it out. Second of all, it can help you understand what's going on in there too, because when it's all just floating around in your head, it's hard to, you know, see, or it's hard to feel or understand what it actually is. So, oh, I love this. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, the Whale, and it's Great Worry Over Nothing. When that card comes out, it brings me a sense of relief that a lot of the things that I'm worried about, or a lot of things that I stress about, really, it's not either true or it's not that big of a deal for certain things, you know, and so that kind of always makes me feel better. So we have Tower, solid foundation, success with effort, discord among friends or family with the mice. And I think that these are problems to be resolved eventually, or they may be things that could work themselves out the way that they're meant to naturally. For some of you with this Whale, this Great Worry Over Nothing, sometimes we kind of just have to let things work themselves out and not take too much responsibility. I want to get a couple more cards here. What should pile 3 be focusing on? Uh-oh, that's too many cards. That's way too many cards. This is what I thought that card was that flew out. I thought that it was because they look very much similar. I thought it was the psychic ability, trust your intuition. So we have Boots, increase your effort if you want to achieve your goals. We have Gong, an exciting event. Chain of events that will affect your life. Psychic abilities, trust your intuition, good fortune. I told you, this is way too many cards. Temptation will test you. and take care. Enemies are working against you. It's easy to fall back into old habits, into old routines, into old ways of doing. When you are doing that, focus on the other end of the spectrum, focusing on maybe increasing those efforts or doing what you can to maybe cultivate a certain type of discipline. And now this could be for even just the simplest things of like your thoughts going back into old habits, or reverting back to old ways of being, or procrastination, or any of the things that you feel may affect your life negatively. Spirits like just bring that awareness to that, take care, and use your willpower and your discipline to overcome, but also know that it is a process, and that you will strengthen yourself from the days to come as well. It does feel like with all of these things, so there's going to be things that happen in your life that you just can't control, and your intuition, you're always listening to your intuition, whether it feels like it or not. Sometimes we avoid certain things, but I feel for the most of you, you are being guided and you are very in touch with your intuition. I think you just need to trust yourself, and I think that you need to trust where you feel led, even if it doesn't necessarily make sense. And I feel like this is also talking about, you know, sadness and things that we go through and that we overcome in life. And sometimes we don't get along with our friends, family, or the people around us, and that's okay. But I think that you know, with time and maybe even some effort, you can mend these things, you can fix these things in your life, whatever specifically they may be. Now, this is a general reading, so it could be something different for every single one of you, and not every detail may resonate, and that is okay. But for the most part, I'm just feeling like with efforts, as we were seeing that before, you have the power. And that's what Spirit wants you to focus on, is your efforts, your power. We have good fortune ending this as well too. Or we have this, but that was the message that I was kind of saying too. It was like temptation and things, you know, that's just natural. But focus on what you want to accomplish, what you feel like you should do, or what you need to do. Like, you have this beautiful inner strength, and give yourself breaks in times as well too. Like, so I know that like talking like that, a lot of the time it sounds exhausting, right? Like, it's like, oh my gosh. So make sure that you're fueling yourself in ways, you're eating correctly, you're resting, you're giving yourself time. Meditation, I feel like, is something that it could really benefit you as well. Allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to sit, all of that too. That could also be that temperance as well too. Like, it's not always just hard work, go, go, go. You do need a balance, and that's when you find your natural equilibrium of a perfect amount of give, a perfect amount of take, and a perfect amount of you know, receiving, and the masculine and feminine energy, and all of these things as well too. Don't let certain distractions as well get you too much off track. There could be certain, like, you know, this conflict sometimes with other people or things, or maybe even internally, can stop us from progressing, or it can stop us from feeling or enjoying. And Spirit's like, just any kind of burdens at this time, please just try your best to not focus too much on them, especially if they are out of your control. If you feel like you do need to take steps to mend certain things or to do certain things, that's fine. Do what you can, and you can't always control how other people or other things react around you, but you can control how you react, and you can just do what feels aligned to you, what's best for you. That's where your focus lies, the things that are that you can do. But you maybe, if you feel like you need a good cry, let it out, pile 3. Some of you may haven't cried. I'm hearing for some of you, you may haven't cried in a long time. And I want to remind you that crying actually has scientific backed benefits on ourselves. But I want to get some other cards as well. That was a crazy amount of cards. I don't know what the heck that was, but I felt called to put them all there. And that also, I feel like the way that was, and then it was ending in great fortune, but there we were kind of seeing, if you go back and you kind of look at their just different stages, I feel like that was kind of like a show or a bigger picture of the different stages and things that we go through in our life, some good, some bad at the same time, and it all kind of plays out and happens the way that it's meant to. Okay, so what does pile 3 need to focus on, Spirit? I knew it. I knew I had to pull it off camera because there was nudity. Actually, I didn't know it. I said that in every single reading, but now you guys got it. So we have the death card here, but I have to cover her a little bit just because YouTube has guidelines, and that's okay. So we have the death card right here which is the number 5, which makes me think of changes, letting go. The way that this person is up in flames too makes me think that, you know, there's like a death or rebirth cycle happening in your life right now, like a transformative type of energy here too. And I want to say that it's not always the easiest, especially when you're walking through the fire or you're walking through the thick of it. But Spirit wants you to focus on the person that you are going to be or are currently becoming at the end of this. Like, I feel like you're going through a tremendous transformation in your life. I feel like you're going through a process right now, and it can be really, really hard to focus on the good, or it can be hard to focus on the outcome or to focus on the future when we're not feeling our best, or when we're going through things that we just don't necessarily like, and that's okay. But Spirit's saying that there's an end game coming here, that there is an end to this, and there is solutions that will be given to you when you need them for many different things. And it just feels like letting go of anything right now is your best bet when it comes to your focus. Anything that you may be trying to hold on to, or any old patterns or old things, your focus is best lies in just letting those things go, because you're making room for better. And anything that ends, an ending is always just merely a new beginning. And an ending or letting go of something is always just us releasing something, because either something better or that thing is coming back in a better form. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's always, everything's a cycle, everything's a process as well, everything's a spiral. So it's not the complete end, but it could be the end of a certain journey. Spirit's like, your energy is best suited in letting go. Okay. Ooh, we have the last hurrah. I love that, because this is about your efforts pushing through that Chariot energy, but it also means that you're at the end stages, I believe, of this transformation, of this period, of this cycle. Spirit's like, focus on yourself and the things that you're trying to do, trying to accomplish in your life. Push through, because you are almost there. I feel like this last hurrah is reminding you that you are probably a lot closer than you think to where you feel like you want to be. And it does take effort and it does take willpower, but you will soon see, I feel, that it was all necessary. And the effort that you put in on yourself, on your life, or anything that you feel has a positive influence on you is not going to go to waste, no matter how minute it may seem, or minimal it may seem, or how big it may seem. You know, that it does have an effect, a ripple effect on your life. So don't be afraid sometimes to go that extra mile when it comes to you, and yourself, and your goals, and anything, because it'll be worth it. Okay, and now we have the moon. Oops. Hey, watch it. There's just a little booty there too. We gotta hide from YouTube. Okay, so the moon, I think, in this sense, is reminding you of your psychic abilities, is your way to kind of see through the dark, to trust in the unknown, to trust in the journey, that it is going to be okay. You could be very in tune with the moon cycles as well, or you could use them for your manifestations, or if you feel called to do that, I would say definitely do that, the different cycles as well. The moon also reminds us that things, once again, do work in cycles, that there will be new beginnings, there will be full moons and everything else in between, you know, and it's just all a part of the process. And Spirit wants to commend you on trusting your own process. I think sometimes you don't hear that enough, or maybe tell yourself that enough, that you are doing a great job, that it's not easy. And especially if you're on a path of self-development, or you're on your own spiritual path, Spirit is reminding you that it's not necessarily like the easiest thing. So don't be too hard on yourself. Like, you're doing a great job, and Spirit wants to commend you for trusting. Even if you are worried a lot of the time, like, you're still taking the next steps, you're still doing it, you're still going, and you're still here. And so trusting in the unknown. Spirit's like, I have you. Because I just got a vision of somebody holding someone's hand and walking through like a desert, or walking through, I guess maybe like this imagery, and pulling them, you know. And Spirit's like, you know, you are being guided. Just sometimes we forget. So remember to trust yourself, trust the process. Those things need your focus as well. And the unknown and the mystery of the moon can be so beautiful at times too, because just like it can be scary, or we can always think of the worst case scenarios, or the worst thing to happen, even if the worst thing to happen is just staying the same or staying stuck, you know, there's also so much potential of all the good that can happen as well too. And there's another thing here about focusing on your emotions, letting your emotions flow through you, and letting them be messengers as well on like why these things are coming up, what's happening, what are they trying to tell you, not letting them limit you and not letting them control you, but letting them teach you or show you. And they can't hurt you. They're not dangerous. And I feel that sometimes too, we kind of avoid thinking of things or feeling of things because we know that there's intense emotions, but that's just what they are. It's just intense emotions. You're gonna survive. You'll be okay. Okay, just a couple more cards for you, and then I'll send you on your way. Also, the slice here at the bottom of the deck, if you dive into your passions, the things that light you up, the things that you like, and you like, if you are obsessing over something, obsess over something that benefits you. Like the slice is like, dang, like I'm obsessed with this, I like it, I'm into it, I want it. Follow that as well too, for divine reasons. Unless it's like a person that you can't control right now, or like the only time I would say like maybe not, or maybe be aware of what you're obsessing over, if it's like a person or something that isn't about you and your journey, and or you know, you get what I'm saying, like maybe something that you can't control. Like if it's like a hobby, or if it's like something that you love or anything like that, do it. If it's something where it's like codependency, or where there's like negative attachments, then maybe just be aware of what you're obsessing over. Would be the message with that. Okay. So what are the final messages for pile 3 on what they should focus on? Let's get all the cards out so we can just talk about it. It says don't do dumb stuff, but if you do, don't post it on social media. Those things can follow you. That's so funny. I think that's very telling to this age that we live in as well too, with the footprint of social media. It can, so make sure that you are being nice online. I'm sure you are, but you know, and it could also be like stuff that goes against your better judgment. It doesn't even have to just be about social media. Like Spirit's like, take accountability sometimes for your choices and just do what's best for you. Don't be reactive is what I'm hearing. So this could be for you like in your future as well. This could also be like advice of what to focus on in the future, or just whenever. It could be different for everybody, but for some of you, I think this is like your future, to not be so reactive to certain things, because you may get challenged, you may get opposition from people, and sometimes we just encounter things that suck, or we encounter people that are just assholes. So try your best not to be reactive, or to let somebody bring out the worst side in you, especially if it is on social media and things like that, because there is like proof, screenshots, things like that, which we all have those times too, and that doesn't make us a bad person. Sometimes we can just be in a bad mood and we can say things. It doesn't make you a bad person, but it can be used against you, you know, later on. So just be aware of like certain things like that. And I think, like I said, for some of you, this is like in your future to be aware of. Okay, Last final messages on what to focus on as well. Make better choices. Stop doing the same thing over and over again. It isn't working. A lot of things about choices. And then we have accept every part of you. You are light and dark, attractive and messy. Embrace it all. I love this. I'm so for this message as well. Like sometimes we don't make the best choices. And I can tell you that there's days where I make the exact opposite choices of what I should make too. And it can be really easy to be hard on yourself. It can be really easy to fall into a pattern of like, wanting to shame yourself, but that doesn't necessarily do anything. You know, I think that spirit wants you to focus on being your biggest motivator, putting the past in the past. Our choices are our choices, but the thing is that you have the ability to restart in every moment. And that is something that is very empowering too, or maybe every day, but literally in every moment you can decide what you want to do and you can decide what you want to be. And it doesn't have to be who you were 5 minutes ago. You could literally say, I want to change my life and I want to be this person now. Okay. And then you might revert back and then you might go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but that's fine. Okay. Because it's your life and you decide. And as long as you're okay with yourself, and just know that people do, even if you feel like you don't, you just like in this instance or whatever, there's people, we all do things that we're not necessarily proud of, or we all have done things in our past that we're not necessarily proud of. But that doesn't mean that we have to beat ourselves up for it, but it does give us a chance to see things for what it is and just change or just react differently. Do something differently. Do it in a way. If you don't like the way something felt or something feels, or you don't like the way the outcome is for something, you just do it a different way. And you see, like life is in general is just kind of trial and error for the most part for all of us, right? Like we don't really know, or we don't feel like we have a sense of knowing sometimes of what the hell we're doing, and we're just doing what we can. So make sure that if you want change, that you're aligning with the change, though, I think is the main message with this, to focus on what you can do to bring in the things that you want, to bring in that change as well. And it can be hard sometimes, because sometimes we get so stuck in subconscious patterns, we don't even realize what a grip these things have on us. And it can cause a tremendous amount of discomfort to shift to something else. And I think that's when that chariot energy comes through, that willpower, that fight within you to say, I can do it. It is possible, and you will. You just have to, start sometime, you know? You have to do it sometime. And it's all a part of the process and the journey too. It's going backwards, falling back. Sometimes we feel like we would take 2 steps back and then we catapult forward, you know? So just be easy on yourself as well. I always like to tell you guys to not judge yourself too much during the process. As long as you're doing what you feel you can do, or you should do, and you're doing it with love, and you're feeling, or you're not feeling, but like you're doing it with aligning to what it is that you want, you'll be okay. And it's a process. So I think that's it, guys. I love these last messages. It's like you can accept the parts that are messy at the same time, but also remember to make the choices that are best for you, of course. I like that message. I think we can all benefit from that as well, too. So I'm going to leave this reading here for you. Thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you guys get something out of it. I hope it helps, or maybe just you got some entertainment at the very least, or I could keep you company, whatever the reasons are. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to those who like the videos, comment, subscribe. All of that kind of interaction is amazing, and I'm so grateful for it all the time. Like, this channel literally wouldn't be anything without you guys, so I'm so grateful for every single one of you, and I want to thank you again just for being here, just for listening, regardless of what the outcome is. I guess we're just in it together, guys. Life's confusing, you know. I like that we get to build a little community here where we all can talk and be friends and get along. No, I don't know what I'm saying now, but thank you for being a part of it, and I will see you in the next one, or hopefully I will see you in the next one. If I don't, it'll be okay, but I'll be sad about it. So be in the next one. No, I'm just kidding. Stretching. It's time for me to do something for myself, so I hope you guys do something for yourself too. Go get a little treat, or go on a walk, or do something. get off your phones for a little bit, okay? And you can come back on. But I advise you, let's get off our phones for a little bit and let's do something in the moment. Let's feel good about life, okay? Okay, love you, bye.